we are, talking about mental wellness in women. So I wanted to present some current statistics and data about what's the stark reality of how prevalent any kind of mental health issues are in women. So based on NIMH, which stands for National Institute of Mental Health, there is certainly been, a lot of data collection by them. And as of 2019, and I would imagine these numbers have gone up now. So this is as of 2019, you can see there is a higher prevalence of mental health issues in female compared to male. So the difference of 25% versus almost 16.5%. So this is about any mental health illness. Then if we talk about serious mental health illnesses, which can impact most of them for most of their life, again, we see females having more of issues compared to males. You see the difference 6.5% versus 3.9. And then this is not just older women, but also females in their teenage. So for adolescents, also we see a difference here that they have more mental health challenges compared to their male, counterparts. So, what do we see in terms of some psychiatric diagnosis that I see day in and out in my professional work? Anxiety and depression are the most common ones. And we actually definitely I see a lot more female clients. So I think it's the data is kind of certainly true as far as even my anecdotal experience. Women are twice as likely as men to be impacted by what we call as generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder. That's the same also for depression. When we say unipolar depression, this is the common garden variety clinical depression. We distinguish it by calling it as unipolar because there are people who have another mental health condition called bipolar disorder, and they may swing between depression and mania or hypomania. And so that depression is qualified as bipolar depression. And in fact, I would imagine even there females are more impacted compared to males. And then higher incidence of post-traumatic stress disorder. I think we are very much aware of the traumatic experiences women go through their life at multiple levels and at different stages of their life. So that definitely also makes them much more likely to experience PTSD. And then, unfortunately, women are almost 10 times more likely than men to be affected by any kind of eating disorder. So, in fact, during the pandemic, we've seen a rise of this, even in teens, female teens or teen girls, with a lot of them developing anorexia nervosa type of eating disorder symptoms or bulimia nervosa, and sometimes just some symptoms of some of them, and they're not quite filling the diagnostic criteria, but that's certainly been another thing that we see much more in females compared to male patients. And then while the incidence of more serious psychiatric conditions like schizophrenia and bipolar tend to be same for men and women, the symptoms that women experience are often differ from how they present in male. And we do see a little bit of prognosis that varies in females that tends to be a little more on the uh, poorer side or lower side compared to men. So basically, I'm not sharing like any kind of great news, but this is the harsh reality of mental health issues in women that we see. Now, I'm going to touch upon some factors, and obviously we'll talk more about this when I have my questions to our amazing panelists and learn from them how they are managing some of these factors and what other factors I might have missed. I think there are more than the ones I have listed. But we definitely know that female hormones tend to play a big role in mental health of women. Stress, I think, as women, we play multiple roles. Often, as a working professional and mom and a wife and a granddaughter or a daughter-in-law and whatnot. I mean, there is a lot, and I think culturally, we tend to, have more responsibilities, on us, which does add to the stress. exposure to violence, trauma, or any kind of abuse, unfortunately, tends to be certainly higher in females. Lack of social support. So some of us are fortunate to have that, but I know many of the clients I work with don't often have that, and that makes it really hard for them to juggle the different roles and responsibilities. Um, and there is something about, this internalized self stigma, that as females we tend to be really harsh on ourselves, and we are considered to be emotionally strong, or we should be strong. There are a lot of myths and cultural beliefs that often make us feel like, if I'm going to come and talk to me about feeling stressed out or anxious, that's going to be taken as I'm weak. And so that's certainly a big part of what impacts female patients or women to get mental health help, earlier on or at the right time. And then minorities, women of color. So we are talking about South Asian women. We have some amazing panelists who are representing that category today. But I think, just again, as a professional, I see women from different ethnic backgrounds and minorities across the board tend to have their own challenges as far as maintaining their mental health. And then I put the self-care at the bottom. I think that's the main one, and I'm going to have our panelists talk about that, because I think that can be a huge factor in maintaining good mental health.